Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Maybe You Should Talk. It is the podcast about nothing and everything. And as always, I am one of your hosts, John Parra. And as always, I am joined by my brother and co-host,
Jay Barber in the building. The name is guaranteed and cemented.
And on today's episode, that's actually what we're going to be talking about, man, because I'm extremely disappointed in the results of the poll, Jay. I know you're happy about the fact that the fans voted for Jay Barber.
Not only the fans, but your wife and best friend
voted
against you.
Wow, damn.
Just so we clear that out there.
Wow, already.
Just so they know.
Okay. My boy's already firing shots. Yeah, can I just say for the record that I'm extremely disappointed in my wife and my boy, Brian Humani. I'm going to say his name because...
Throw him under the bus.
I'm going to say his name because I'm extremely disappointed that they went against the grain and they didn't like Jay the Barber.
My wife didn't like Jay the Barber either, to be honest.
Well, so here's the thing, because I took a look at the poll, and so for the record, before we get into this, for the people that are just tuning in, for the longest time, I've been calling Jay Barber Jay the Barber. So to settle the debate, we held a poll on Instagram, and the people voted. And the people voted, personally, I think, incorrectly.
Come on now. Cut that out. Cut out that noise.
For Jay Barber. But I want to shout out the people that voted for Jay the Barber, though, because I remember those people, okay? And one of them I was surprised by.
Who?
Your homegirl. She was a guest on the show.
Yeah, Yulissa.
How'd you feel about that when you saw her name?
I sent her a private text message. I let her know my feelings.
What'd she say? Did she own it, or did she kind of like side with you?
She owned it. Nah, she owned it.
Did she say why?
That's what she liked more.
Yeah.
She said it sounded better.
Yo, shout out to Yulissa, yo.
Shout her out, bro.
Big ups, man. I wasn't expecting that. When I saw that, I thought we had a chance. I thought we had a chance. So shout out to Yulissa. Shout out to Natalia, which is one of my wife's friends. She also voted for Jay the Barber. And I think the other name that I saw on there was Alex as well. So shout out to Alex. And I think there was two other people, but I can't think of them right now. But in all fairness, though, man,
it was a landslide. It was a landslide.
It was like what, like 60-40, right? 60% for Jay Barber.
70-30.
Okay. All right. We'll give you 70-30. But I think I'm calling this thing, though, man. I don't know, man. I think for the most part, let's call a spade here. And I think most of the followers on the page are predominantly your friends.
Well, that's what happens when you manage the page, my brother.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, you know? So, like, I wouldn't expect for, Johnny Two Blades to vote for Jay the Barber.
That's my boy. Like, he was the one that brought it up to me that JP's botching my name. And he said, yo, why does JP always say Jay the Barber? Like, that's not it. That's not the name.
So if it wasn't for Johnny Two Blades, then you would have never caught the mistake.
I would have caught it eventually.
Yeah, you know what?
I didn't care that much. It didn't bother me till we made it a thing.
Yeah, and then the funny thing too is, when I was talking to Catherine about it, she's like, Jay Barber just sounds better, and I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, this was her explanation, and she was like, it's just like Jay the Barber, and I think this is when she said it made sense to me. She's like, Jay the Barber is a common name. She's like, you go on Instagram, there's a lot of Jay the Barbers. And I'm like, yeah, but there's only one Jay the Barber, though. And it's my boy.
The Instagram don't say the Barber, it's Jay Barber _
And for the record, that's not his legal name. So
not at all.
Let's just clarify that, man. So for the people that voted, we appreciate you. I'm disappointed in the results, but we're gonna honor what the fans want. Or as my boy Jay would say, what the streets want.
What the streets want. That's what they wanted. The streets spoke to us.
Yeah.
The streets spoke to us.
They did. So I'm not going to argue the results. Although, for what it's worth, though, it's going to take some time.
He can't let it go. Look at this guy.
No, it's going to take some time for me to get used to it, because on the last episode, on the Raw episode, and shout out to Raw, when I was recording the intro, I almost fucked up and said Jay the Barber.
You had to do it again.
I did. I did.
Yeah,
I did. I was
you're
like,
the worst.
fuck, yo, his name is Jay Barber now. So it's going to take some time. So if I fuck up, just correct me.
No, you're good.
All right. But there's going to be probably
believe
a
in
couple.
you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. And we're doing something different tonight from the perspective that this is probably one of the later episodes that we're recording ever.
Late night at the beginning of the week, folks.
Yeah.
We're here for you guys.
We definitely are. It's Monday. It's November 14th. It's 11:20 p.m. Eastern time. Yes. I am traveling for work, so if the background looks a little different, that's because I'm in Maryland right now in the Homewood Suites.
All right, don't give too much information.
I mean, it's all good. It's not. I'm not gonna give the address, and besides, I'll be gone by tomorrow, so so I'm straight. But the hotel's a little run down. It's one of the older hotels, but we're here, man. And you've also had a busy day, right? Because
A hell of a day, bro.
you worked out. You went back to working out.
Bro, I know, like right now, like the body's still going through like an adrenaline rush, and I don't feel it. But tomorrow morning, I'm gonna feel like I got hit by a truck.
And so hold on, because we gotta give a shout out to our boy. We gotta give a shout out to the man who's training you right now. So do you want to tell the people who you're back with right now?
Back with Ascend Athletics, baby, Jeremy Kaplan.
There you go. And so like what's crazy? He gave me a shirt, and I said that I was gonna rock it. We got time. We got time. Yeah. You're right. So, but we should plug him in though, because he's a good guy. Sure. He's a good guy. So if you are in the North Jersey area, and I think Edgewater is part of, is it part of Hudson County? Bergen County. Okay. If you're looking for a strength and conditioning trainer or a coach, or if you're just looking to get fit and right and you're in the area, look up Ascend Athletics. They're located on 890 River Road in Edgewater, New Jersey. Sure. All right. My guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Shout out to Jeremy Kaplan. And we have a testimonial right here because, Jay, when you were working out with him, how was the progress?
It was fast and it was efficient. And like that man had me in the best shape of my life at one point. I was at 16% body fat, bro. I've never touched that, not even when I was born, bro. Like, I've been a husky kid all my life, bro. Like, so I'm gonna keep it real. Like,
you were looking lean, man. I remember that. I remember going to the barber shop, and what was the diet like during that time frame?
Yo, you know what's crazy? Like, I was strict with the diet, but I was more like disciplined with the working out.
Really?
Like, I didn't miss a workout, bro.
Damn.
I was there like 4 or 5 times a week. Because we started, like, me and Jeremy came a long way, bro. Jeremy started training me in like a little studio gym in his apartment complex.
Get the fuck out of here.
That literally had like a bench press, like a bench, free weight dumbbells, and like one Cybertech machine.
Mm-hmm.
And he just improvised and used bands, used all his knowledge, and just like put me to work all the time. And like he's a fan of HIIT training, so if you're looking for like a workout that's not gonna take up too much of your time, where you get to the gym and you have like a 45 to an hour block, like that's the guy you want to work out with, man, because he's gonna push you and he's gonna work you out, and you're gonna get the most out of that 45 to an hour, bro. And the results are like, you listen to him, bro, he's gonna take you to the promised land.
Yeah, and for the record about that too. So at my job, we have a physical therapist on site, and she listened to the episode, and she actually said, for the first time, I really don't have anything to disagree with. So
there you go. Shout out
if that means anything, shout out to our boy, man. So let's talk about that. So you worked out today. What did he have you do? What were you doing today?
So today was the first time I worked out since maybe March.
How you feeling?
Yo, I feel good. Like the energy levels are good. Like I feel accomplished, like I did something good today. But I'm also feeling like my bed is calling me. Like, I'm asleep like a baby tonight. Like I'm going to sleep. Like no thoughts, no like looking up into the ceiling. Like I'm gonna lay my head down and I'm going to sleep. But that's one of the benefits that I get when I start working out. Like my sleep is just so much easier to find.
Really?
Oh yeah. It
Wow.
helps me with my stress levels, like everything. It's just like when I'm in the gym, bro, I sleep. I could go to sleep at the same time every day, like a routine.
Get out of here.
Yeah, bro. That's one of like the best things that I love about working out.
And you sleep profoundly? Like you don't wake up in the middle of the night or anything?
baby Sophia ain't waking me up tonight.
Yo, that's crazy because I feel like I'm the opposite. Like if I work out a little bit, maybe like 2 hours before bedtime, bro, I have a hard time going to sleep.
But are you taking like any supplements or any pre-workout?
Nah, man. I just, for whatever reason, like I struggle, and maybe it
Your
just means
endorphins are probably still like firing at all.
Probably, yeah. And like I struggle, like I become dependent on like over the counter stuff to fall asleep, which isn't necessarily the best thing.
Try working out a little earlier. So that
I'm gonna definitely try to do that. I was actually at the gym in the hotel room today, bro, and it was like this small ass like fucking gym. And that's kind of like the sucky thing about working out in a hotel is that if the space is small, like, yo, I was literally working out and like some dude was practically like breathing on top of me.
You need a spot? You need a spot?
And it's like, yo, like it was mad uncomfortable to the point that I think he just like, that guy, I kid you not, he did a shoulder press, some bicep curls, and then he's like, I'm out. He's out. So, yeah, he's just, it's tough to work out like that, man. But the good thing about where you went to work out is that it's a brand new facility.
Brand new state-of-the-art facility. The man put his blood, sweat, and tears into that place.
He did. Our boy is working hard, man. So what exercises did he have you do? Did you do any exercises that you hate?
Nah, because I told him off the rip, I was like, look, it's day one. I'm just coming back. Like, I had something done. I had a medical procedure done on my foot, something very minor, but I'm still healing from that. So I was like, look, I'll agree to working out, but you can't make me run. I need to pass on running. Because, like, I can't run right now. And we did some chest. We did shoulders. We did back. We did biceps, triceps. And it was all light, high reps. Try to shock the body back into getting into the rhythm of things. Because, bro, like, I could tell you that mid-set, I wasn't, like, the weight wasn't heavy, but my muscles were just fatigued. Like, there was no stamina, no endurance in this specimen of a body that I have.
Yeah.
I was so washed up. I felt washed.
You know what I love, and before I get into this though, so I do apologize if you hear air conditioning in the background. As I said earlier, this hotel is old and dusty, so this air conditioner hasn't been serviced in some time, I could imagine. But you know what I love about you, Jay? You're the only guy that could go work out and tell the person that's going to train you, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that.
100%. Our relationship has grown to that level.
And he caters to you.
Of course.
That's love.
Because I'm giving it my all and everything else that you're making me do. I'm not half-assing everything else. Because I'm not running because I don't want to. I'm running because I physically can't. You get me? And
I think that's fair.
He knows what it is that I have going on. It's not something that is like brand new. I've dealt with this for a couple of years now.
So you were there for how long?
An hour.
Damn.
Yo, an hour, pumped iron, dabbed them up, goodbye, I'll see you tomorrow. That's it.
Didn't even chill for like some small talk afterwards?
Because he got clients coming in, so I don't want to jump into his time. Like my block is an hour. That's what I'm here for. That's what we pay for. You
respect it.
Respect it, bro. At the end of the day, it's my boy. If I want to talk to him, I'll give him a call later after hours.
You're a good dude, man.
Thank you, bro. I try.
You're a good dude, man. You're a good dude, man. So shout out to Jeremy Ascent Athletics again. If you guys are in the area, definitely check him out. So let's talk about your biggest love and passion, man. The Giants.
The Giants are 7-2 people. New York is still on top of the mountain. I don't care about whatever's going else on in the NFC East. The Cowboys lost. That makes my win a whole lot better.
And the Eagles.
I don't know the final yet. I don't know if it's over.
And the Eagles are playing the Commanders right now, so I'm curious what
giving them a game. So
they were. So you know what? Let's see if we could quickly look at the score right now. Because if the Eagles lose, Jay, how happy are you going to be?
Oh, I will be ecstatic. And they lost.
They lost.
Wow, by 11, 32-21.
Wow. So the Eagles have officially taken their first loss of the season. Now, I don't think we've ever actually explored on this topic, Jay, but are the Eagles one of your more hated franchises?
So I'll keep it very honest and blunt. The two teams that I despise the most in the NFL, and this is no order, they're equal. Cowboys, Eagles. Say right off the rip.
If you had to choose, though, between
both of them.
Equally.
Equally.
Wow.
I keep it real.
Is there a reason specifically as to why, or is it just because they're our biggest like competitors in the NFC?
I mean, the Eagles, for the history of our division, have done so many like moments of just spoiling our season when they have nothing to play for, and they just like do it to us. Deshaun Jackson, Herm Edwards, like going back to like the 80s, bro, did it to us.
Didn't they, when they had Doug Peterson, I think this might have been 2 years ago, didn't they like tank a game so that we wouldn't go to the playoffs or something like that?
That's the same season. Like they tanked the game, right? They let the Commanders win because that was what happened. And not only that, then in the offseason, when the draft came, you traded with the Cowboys to move up or whatever. I can't recall exactly what they did. But everybody knows that you don't trade in division to better yourself in the division. Like, that doesn't happen. That's why I can't stand those.
So you're saying they did that to spite the Giants?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And they ended up drafting Devontae Smith, right?
Yes. And we were high on him. Damn. Interviewed him, tried him out, brought him in for workouts, and they knew that shit.
Have you gone to the Eagles Stadium as a Giants fan?
So I've gone to the Eagles Stadium. I've been to Lincoln Financial, I think it's called, but I went for a concert, not for a football game.
So you haven't been to a football game?
I've been to Eagles Giants at home though, at MetLife. I won't drive to. Eagle fans are rowdy, bro.
Yeah, I've heard
they're
stories.
Like one of in the NFL. They're known for being like top. Like they're not even loyal to their team. They've booed their team like off the fucking field and shit. Like
Philly's an interesting place, man.
You have any experiences in Philly? Now that we touch a base about Philadelphia.
Well, so
the brotherly love, the state of brotherly love, the city of brotherly love.
I had a terrible experience when I went to Philly. And it's ironic, too, because that was actually the place where I ended up proposing to Catherine out of all places. But literally, I get there and we get into an Uber and we go to, I forget, I guess the Rocky Steps. I don't know if that's the actual name.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get out, a cop pulls over and starts arguing with my Uber driver.
Oh, nice. Welcome to Philadelphia.
Basically, my first introduction, right? So I'm like, okay, and they're arguing back and forth to the point where the cop's like, yo, like if you don't keep your mouth shut, I'm gonna arrest you. And I'm over here like, yo, my guy, like, do I leave? Do I?
May I leave? Like,
yeah, like I was like, yo, I'll leave a tip. Good luck. You know? So I left. So okay, cool. So we're taking pictures, and then I noticed that there's like a couple guys that are just there, right? They're just chilling. And they're randomly telling people or asking people, hey, let me take a picture of you. So, I peep game. I notice what's going on, So eventually the guy sees me. And I guess I have that really like approachable face. Like I think
100%.
Right? Like if you were lost and you saw me, I think you would feel confident and safe to ask me for directions.
Yeah, you'll be like, yeah, how can I help you?
And especially if I have glasses on.
Oh yeah, JP glasses. Forget about it.
It's a different.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, it's a different guy. So this guy sees me and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "Hey," and I'm ignoring him, right? And then eventually he's like, "Yo, is that your wife?" And I'm like, and I ignore him. He's like, "Yo, is that your wife?" And I'm like, "Yo, what does it matter?" He's like, "Oh, I was gonna take a picture of you and her." I was like, "I'm good." And then what gets me mad is that he pretty much says, "Oh, is it because I'm black?" And my response was, "What?"
Sure.
And then he starts to fucking talk shit. And then I'm going to get into it with him. But my wife is like, yo, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But no, sir, if you ever listen to this fucking podcast, okay, it wasn't because you were black. It's because I knew what you were fucking trying to do. You were trying to fucking have me give you a tip for taking a picture when I could have just taken a selfie. All right. So peace be with you. I have no fucking hatred towards you, my guy, even though you ruined that fucking day for me. So such
a memorable day, right?
Bro, like it just was like bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
That's why I don't like the Eagles. See, just stuff like that.
And then I think there's like a museum right there, whatever the case may be. And we walk in, the guy, the receptionist, whatever you want to call him, was a complete fucking asshole. Like, yo, it was just, that's why Bill Burr fucking roasted that city.
Yo,
Did you ever see that?
I haven't. I should.
Okay.
But
yeah, you should.
Ironically, me and my wife like love going to Philly.
Really?
Yo,
it's a nice place though.
Bro, like, we're big concert fans. Like, we like going to music concerts. And numerous times we've picked Wells Fargo's arena and made it like a 2-day trip and stay out there because the pricing is better on tickets. And just like we enjoy like eating in Philadelphia and like walking around that city. Like,
so question, because there's two of the cheesesteak spots, right? It's Geno's and what's the other one?
Those are trash. Pat's and Geno's, bro. That's
Pat's
like
and
McDonald's. That doesn't
talk about it, Jay. Talk about it because that's usually what people go for.
No, that's because
what are the spots, Jay?
Oh man, stop it! You got to go to Ishkabibbles. Ishkabibbles is probably like top notch. Sonny's, top notch. Jim's, top notch.
Yo, you're legit. Like
Oh, I've gone on a tour, bro. I've gone on a tour. Yeah, there's one that I've never been to, but I can't remember the name. It's like D'Alessandro's, I think. I don't want to botch it. I don't want to mislead people. But that
what's the best one? What's the best spot? Like your number one?
So I say this order, and only because I like French fries with a cheesesteak.
Mm-hmm.
And which one is it? Jim's doesn't have any sides. It's just straight cheesesteaks.
So it's just like the meat, and is it the cheese whiz, or do they put like actual cheese on it?
So, you're supposed to get it with cheese whiz, but I'm against cheese whiz.
Yeah, I don't like cheese whiz either on my cheesesteaks.
That shit comes in a can.
Yeah.
Like, if you had homemade cheese whiz, I'd try it. Mm-hmm. But, like, you're getting this shit at Restaurant Depot, my guy. And, like, warming it up. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that sodium-packed fucking fake cheese whiz. So I'm more of like a provolone cheese guy in a cheesesteak. That's me. That's my preference. But I really enjoy Sonny's. Sonny's is like a great experience. Great food. They use sliced ribeye, if I'm not mistaken. Thinly sliced ribeye.
That sounds really good.
Yo, it's one of my favorite ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm confusing you with maybe somebody else, but didn't you see some wild shit one time when you went to get a cheesesteak? Wasn't there like a fight or something like that? Or maybe I'm thinking about somebody else.
No, that's not me.
No? Okay, so I was thinking about somebody else. Okay, so maybe it's just me. Maybe it was just for whatever reason.
Other than one time I got a parking ticket for like, because their parking signs are like New York parking signs. It's like a riddle. But that's the only flaw that I have with Philly.
There's this, and I forget what it's called, and I feel like an idiot that I don't remember, but there's a spot in Philly where I guess some guy had made everything out of like trash or something like that. Yeah, I forget what it's. Now I got to Google this because it's driving me crazy, but it's this really cool spot in Philly. Let me see if I could do a quick Google search on my phone here. Let's see if.
I mean, you definitely, like to what I was saying before, you should definitely try those 3 spots that I did.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. All right,
you like cheesesteaks?
Yeah, for sure, bro. 1,000% cheesesteaks are like the shit, yo. It's like one of those comfort foods that, like, no matter what, it's just it's a good thing to have. All right, so it's Philadelphia's Magic Gardens, and I guess it's. Yeah, so we went there, and it's a beautiful spot.
Is that right by the water?
I don't remember if it was right by the water.
Because I feel like I've walked by that and never gone in.
Yeah, so it's. I didn't even know that it was like an art museum, but I know it was done by like one person. And it's just made of like a bunch of like things, like glasses and stuff like that. All right, so it was
cans and stuff like that.
It was created by mosaic artist Isaiah Zager. I hope I'm pronouncing that guy's name correctly. So the Magic Garden spans 3 city lots and includes indoor galleries and a large outdoor labyrinth. The mosaics are made up of everything from kitchen tiles to bike wheels, Latin American art to China plates. So
it's interesting.
Beautiful spot. Yeah.
That's what you proposed?
Spot. No, I didn't propose there. I actually proposed.
You didn't want to propose around trash?
Nah, because it's a common place, I guess, where people propose. Believe it or not, yo, I proposed in the balcony of the hotel.
That's
while some ratchet ass rap music was playing in the background.
There you go. The other day, we from Hudson County, so like,
hey man, you know,
you need that comfort music in the background, bro.
Yeah, you gotta like strike while the iron's hot. But I remember being mad nervous too about it too. To be honest with you, that's a nerve wracking process, yo.
You probably had a whole speech written down or memorized and didn't say none of it.
Did not say one word of it. Not one word, bro. I think I was like fumbling it like really bad, and yeah. It wasn't one of my smoothest times, I would say. You know, it was definitely a nerve-wracking thing. And then it made me wonder, too, Jay, like if you were a guy and if a woman proposed to you, how would you feel about that?
I've seen videos of that. You know,
that's weird, right?
I just think it's like, it's not, well, I don't know. I don't even know. I'd probably be like, yo, get up. Like, don't do this right now.
just imagine, right? Just imagine,
like,
right?
Stand up.
Like you're with Cynthia, right? And you guys are hanging out in the American Dream Mall.
No.
You know? And just randomly outside of the Nickelodeon fucking whatever that thing is called. Yeah, yeah. She just gets on one knee and she looks at you and she goes, "Will you marry me?"
No. I wouldn't even let her get down. Like, get up. Are you tying your shoes? Like, what happened? Get up.
So, so are you saying no right then and there? Like, as in like not now? I'll say yes to you later. Like, what do you do?
I don't know. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, like, do it intimately. Maybe at a restaurant, like a smaller crowd, you know.
But would you say yes if like she got on one? All right, let's just say she does it in a restaurant. She gets down on one knee and there's 5 people.
It's my baby.
Yeah, that's love, yo. But it is weird though.
Well, she's not gonna do that.
No, of course. But it's weird though. Like just because like they got to put the ring on your finger too. Like, what do you do as a guy?
I'm wearing it as an engagement ring. Like get the shit in your size and I'll give it back to you. Like, that's unconventional. I'm not wearing an engagement ring. I'll wear a ring, but I'm not wearing an engagement ring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. Like, what do you do as a guy? Like, do you like once the ring's on your finger? Do you look at it? Do you cry? Do you just go, okay, cool? You dap her up and you keep it moving? Like, what do you do? So we're dapping her up and we're moving on.
Yeah, we're not even letting her get on the move.
Yo, that's a crazy thing, you know? And it's funny too, because like, I feel like in certain cases, man, times have changed to the point where like, I think I've noticed that in a lot of cases, bro, I'm traditional about a lot of things.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's how we were, brought up, and like what we've seen and what we know. Like, I don't.
Well, so I'll give you an example, and I'm probably gonna get shit for this at home, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. So
that's one,
there's a therapy talk for me. One of the biggest fights leading up to the wedding that Catherine and I had was that she wanted me to take her last name.
I stand with you 137,000%, my brother. That's not happening in my house.
And I was like, yo, like I'm not doing it. And she's like, but why not? I'm like, yo, I'm already giving you everything.
I feel like a man taking on his wife's name is like getting sunned. like, yo, your manhood just went right out the window when you signed that paper and agreed to those terms.
Yeah, bro.
Hell no.
I'm just like, and you know what it is? And I'm an asshole about things, right? So like, I'm just like, yo, like you gotta understand something, Catherine. You know, I was like, your last name doesn't sound the best either, though.
I have. You know, it's funny. I have a similar story. So,
do you?
When my, not with us getting married or anything, but when my first son was born, she's like, we're gonna hyphenate his last name with my name and your name. And I was like, absolutely not. This is not fucking Chile. We're not in another country. Like, we don't do that shit here in America. Absolutely not. Like, no way. And it was a back and forth.
What was the reasoning behind it though? Why she wanted to do it? Because her name is hyphenated.
Yeah, because she swears she's still in Chile, bro. Look at the death. She's like, no. She's like, oh, my mom's name is like that. My name is like that. I was like, yeah, but I'm not like that. And my son's not going to be like that. Absolutely.
It's funny, but my name is hyphenated and I fucking hate it. So
it's a headache.
It is. It is
It's a
because
headache.
so like my legal name is Jonathan Parra Cardona.
Do they give you shit when you go through customs when you travel?
No, but they give me shit when I go to the DMV, and if I present a credit card that just says Jonathan Parra,
It's not you.
no, we can't take that.
We need the C. We need the
Yeah,
Cardona.
yeah. And it's first of all, it just sounds terrible. Parra doesn't sound good with Cardona. You know?
So I have another. You know, that's funny. You touch base about DMV. So my whole life till the age of 29, I swore that my government name, Jean Carlos, was one name. So every time, since my name is so long, every time I get my ID, my driver's license, the lady would always tell me, "Oh, you need to bring your birth certificate in order to get your full name on it, and we'll do it with no problem." So I always bring like the 6 points. I usually bring my passport and like the other 2 points, right? One time, I actually decided to bring my birth certificate because I wanted my whole name on my driver's license. So I fill out the paperwork, you know, Jean Carlos Ortiz. Boom. First name, last name. I get to the fucking desk with all my paperwork, how you doing DMV and shit, and the lady goes, "Sir, your name is incorrect."
Oh, she's telling you your name isn't correct.
I'm like, "What are you talking about? This is my name my whole life. Like, this is how I spell it." No, she's like, "It's not the spelling." She's like, "Actually, Jean is your first name, Carlos is your middle name, and Ortiz is your last. Like, Carlos is a whole middle name. It's not even like a hyphen Jean Carlos." And I was like, "Nah, you're wrong." And
So she's
like,
telling you the legal name that your mom gave you. She's telling you that your mom is wrong.
"Yeah, no, my mom was wrong because the first person I called after that incident was my mom." Hold on. So she grabs the birth certificate and she shows me. Like, I never even realized this. Like, Carlos does say middle name. It does say middle name. But my whole life they tell me my name is Jean Carlos. You know, so whatever. I take the L at DMV. As soon as I walk out the door, call my mom. I said, "Mom, you better explain something to me because you've been lying to me my whole life." She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "Ma, my name is not Jean Carlos." She's like, "Yeah, it is." She still denies it. And she goes, I'm like, "No, it's a middle name, Carlos." She's like, "You know whose fault that is? It's the nurse's fault. I told that lady when I gave birth to you, it's one name and she wrote it wrong." I was like, "So why didn't you tell me this my whole life?"
Yo, for the record, I think this is like a common trait among Spanish moms. They take no accountability, bro.
No accountability.
No accountability whatsoever. Yeah. It's bro, you know what's crazy? I don't know if I ever spoke about this, but my mom, since we're talking about accountability here, and we'll touch a little bit deeper on this, Jay.
Accountability is a big topic of discussion today.
Yeah, this is going to be a big topic of discussion, but let's talk about accountability, bro. So when I landed my first HR job, right, my mom was proud. You know, that's my son, right? I come home with the onboarding folder that has basically all my new hire paperwork, and it has my boss's card on there. Unbeknownst to me, my mom calls my boss.
What? What?
Not only one time, because this is the other thing about Spanish moms, that even if you ignore the call, because let's say, God forbid, you're busy, they're going to keep calling. They're going to keep calling and calling until you pick up, or you pick up angrily and you go, "I can't talk right now." So she calls my boss, I kid you not, like 20 times.
Stop.
Yeah. So I'm going to get to it. So I get to work, right? And they pull me aside and they're like, "Yo, is your mom's name Marilena?" I'm like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" They were like, "Well, funny thing, she called us like 100 times." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Why? Is everything okay? Like, is there an emergency?" "Oh, no. Everything's fine. She just basically called your boss to thank her for giving you an opportunity for the job."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
like, yo, but yo, at that point in time, I genuinely thought, Jay, like, yo, that's it. This job's over. This job is over. I'm just gonna, I'll resign. I'll work my 2 weeks. I'll go home. I'll move on. Like, you know how embarrassing that is, bro?
That's tough. Yo.
That's tough, yo. But here's the thing, though, about accountability, though, because when I get home and I tell my mom about it, nonchalant, oh, I don't see anything bad about it. I don't think there's anything wrong about it. And my dad was in the kitchen and he's like, because my dad doesn't call my mom by her full name. It's like that old Spanish shit. He goes Cardona. He calls her Cardona.
Damn, my last name.
Yeah, my last name. Rugged, yeah, not mi reina, which means my queen or my love. Now he goes Cardona. And then basically he was like, why would you fucking do that? The most wild shit, bro. My mom, love her to death. Love her to death.
I mean, your mom's an OG.
She is.
Your mom's an OG.
She is. But you gotta, my mom, you gotta take her in waves sometimes because she gets a little bit overbearing. Right? Yeah, doses. That's correct word. Yeah, she just she means well. She means well, but sometimes she goes into things with like the best intentions and she just fucks things up. Just makes things a lot worse. Is your mom like that?
Nah, my mom's an OG, but in her own way, bro. She's like, live with your decisions. Think about your decisions. Think about consequences. She's not gonna do that. I mean, although I'm 33 years old, for those that don't know, and my mom still does wellness checks at my job.
That's love. That shit.
Yo, unannounced.
Really?
Unannounced that my mom walks through the barber shop and I work in the first station, so I'm right by the door. And Joseph would be like, yo, you all right? Because your mom's just sizing you up right now. She's not even she'll say hello, but she just sits in the waiting area and sizes me up. And it's usually when I go a week without calling her. If I don't call her, she'll show up.
Just randomly?
Unannounced, bro. I tell you, bro, on the most random days. She'll hop on the little bus. She doesn't drive. and she shows up. And I'm like, before, when it was good terms, she would bring me food. Those were okay, she brought me lunch. But then
she came with something, yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point, the food stopped coming. It was just her. I was like, hey. Mad surprise. Fuck.
Yo, moms do the wildest shit. Yo, I remember, my mom's always done shit that in hindsight, I'm like, yo, what were you thinking? The first girl that I ever dated broke my heart, bro. Played me, bro. My mom found this girl's number and fucking called her. Basically called her and was like, yo, stop fucking with my son's emotions. Leave him the fuck alone. Why?
Yo, so what age did your mom do your laundry?
Yo, for a long time. Yo, Colombian moms are the best, bro. Nah, listen, that's the one thing that, for what it's worth, bro, I have no complaints about, man. I grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment, but my parents never bothered me for shit.
That's good, bro.
Yeah. I shared a bed with my two brothers. Well, my older brother when he was living with us, and then when he moved out, I shared a bed with my younger brother. But that's the one thing I can't complain about, bro. My mom did my laundry, never complained about shit. So shout out to her.
Oh yeah, shout out Spanish moms.
You got to take the pros with the cons, I guess.
Oh yeah, bro. Shit. I lived at home for a very long time, bro.
Do you miss it though?
I mean, not at this age.
Yeah,
I will say one thing. When I moved out, I never went back. And there was a moment in life where I was going through a little breakup and stuff, and things were ugly. And she's like, "The door's open." I was like, "Hell no, I don't want that door." Thank you, Mom,
really?
But I don't want to go back. Yeah, because I just I left the nest.
Yeah, but with the way things are right now, bro, I'll keep it real with you. If my parents,
I'll eat ramen noodles every day, bro.
But hear
peanut
me
butter and
out.
jelly sandwiches, bro. I'm not going.
Hear me out, because my mom gives me shit about this. She'll be like, you have a career, you're renting, your cousin just bought a house, and I'm like,
oh yeah, all this
Mom,
pressure.
Yeah, I'm like, Mom, you gotta understand something, shout out to my cousin because he listens to the show and I love him, but He's been living with my aunt for like 3 years. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like if I was living with my parents and I had the opportunity to save money, not that there's anything wrong with it,
Not at
there's
all.
not. You know, like shit, if I had the opportunity, I would do it. But you can't compare the same scenario though.
No, they just say that the only thing they focus on is that he bought a house and you're the same age.
Basically, yeah. Fuck everything else.
Yeah. Why are you still renting?
Yeah.
Joselito bought a house. Like,
Yo, and that's a thing too. Like in Spanish households, bro. Like there's always a comparison.
and
Always.
they do it so like what's the word I'm looking for? Like innocent. Like, oh, you know, your cousin is the same age and he's married and bought a house and lives over there. Like, so? What you trying to tell me? Like, I want my house right now. Like, you seen these rates? Like,
Yo, it's crazy, right? Because you think about like the struggles about growing up in a Spanish household, bro. And I feel like in a lot of cases, like even though we're from different countries, there's a lot of similarities. Like,
mass similarities.
Bro, you know what's the one thing that my mom would do, bro, that would drive me crazy? I'll talk to her over the phone, and then she'll put on my uncle randomly, like just like, oh, aquí estás tu tío, like here's your uncle. Like, I don't want to talk to my uncle right now. Like, why you put him on the phone?
That's great.
Bro, like all the time. And then today she was gonna pull some shit like that too, and she was gonna call like my godfather. Yeah. I was like, yo, ma. I was like, ma, I don't want to talk to him. Like, preface it. Like, I don't want to talk to him. Your mom never did that? She never fucking like said like,
nah. My one pet peeve talking on the phone with my mom is that she never says goodbye. She just straight bangs the phone.
Stop.
Yo,
Stop.
bro. She never says goodbye to me.
Not even bendiciones?
Yo, like we'll finish a thing. I'll be like, bye, mommy, love you. And all I hear is the beep, like call ended. Yo, for
Stop.
all of time. And I call her out on it. And she'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Next phone call, bang.
That sounds personal.
Yo, all the time. Like, I'm like, yo, that's so rude. Like,
But is she like that with everybody else too? Or is it just
I don't
like
know.
a thing?
I don't know. I just think it's me.
You might want to test that out.
I don't know. I think when Cynthia calls her, she doesn't do that. She'd be
so
like,
she
say
actually
bye
says,
to the niños, say bye to the kids, vida, boom, boom. But me, it's like, bang.
I don't know, man. There might be some inner resentment there, man, that you might have to address, man.
Nah, I'm the golden boy.
Yeah.
Show up to my mom's house right now. Get rice, beans, and chicken right off the rip. I'm the one that never did nothing wrong.
Was your mom strict though? Was she strict with you growing up?
I wouldn't say she was strict. I mean, she wasn't a single mom because my dad was part of my life, very important role in my life. But they were divorced. They were separated. But I think, like, at a certain age, she would just wake me up and she would leave to work and I would have the responsibility of going to school, like walking, like 5th, 6th grade. I mean, given the town is very small, I'm walking 2 blocks with 7 crossing guards on the way there. That's how Western your kids. Like. So, like, I'm safe, you know? But I don't really think, I wouldn't consider my mom strict at all, actually. Like, now reflecting as a parent and like, being in the parent role, I'm very much like her, in a sense, with my parenting towards my kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not strict at all with my son.
Was she overprotective from the perspective of like you can't go to the grocery store by yourself? Even though you're like 15?
Nah, because one, I was always with one of my nephews that were like a year apart in age, and we were like always together. So I was like never really by myself, but she wasn't like that, not at all.
Well, that's good though, man. I guess it depends, yo, because my parents were strict, bro. My parents were strict.
She taught me to be independent, like at an early age.
But that's good though, because I mean, like you moved out when you were how old? You were young, right?
No, I was late. I moved out late, bro.
Oh, did you? I thought for whatever reason I thought you were old, younger. My bad.
I moved out like a week before I turned 28 years old, bro.
Oh, bro. I mean, but shit, there's nothing wrong with that, man. They did a study too, yo.
I got no shame in saying that.
Oh,
bro.
nah, I don't, bro. I think I moved out around the same 30. Age.
Shit.
Yo,
I would have had a house like Joselito.
Yo. Yo, but I think that's a thing though. Like nowadays, though, man, and most kids are not moving out of their parents' crib until they're like in certain cases, like 30, bro. There's nothing wrong with that,
bro. If
times are hard, bro.
Like, thinking in the future, like with my kids, like obviously, I'm gonna buy a house eventually. I'm gonna be comfortable. Like, bro, if they're comfortable and they're respectful, like, bro, stay here as long as you want. Like, I'm not gonna kick you out for what reason.
Same way, bro.
You go on cruises every fucking 2 months. I'm gonna do that while you're here. You're old enough now. Like, I do really. I don't mean to cut you off. I was just
no, you're good.
Like, I do want to push my kids to a dorm, and to have that college experience.
It's a good experience.
Like I want them to be independent and spread their wings, and experience that because I did it. So I really would push that for them, what I
kind of wish secretly, yo. I wish a young Savage Jay would have gone to college.
Nah, bro. Hell no.
How bad do you think that would have been, bro?
I just think I would have never finished, bro. I would have dropped out for like partying.
Yeah, yo, like it's.
Yo, I'm telling you, I had so much fun going to college parties because of friends and stuff that were at these schools that, like, I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah, honestly, like, and the only advice I could give to kids that are in college, or if you're going to college, don't be in a relationship.
Oh, that's cool.
Don't do it. Yeah, don't do it.
If you're gonna have a long distance relationship, my brother.
Jay, drop some bars. Bars.
Wisen up, young fella. Wise.
I did a long distance relationship for like
how long?
Like 5 years.
Damn.
Yeah, she lived in Harlem.
Wait, from like New Brunswick to Harlem?
No. I was living in West New York at the time, but
Harlem is not long distance, bro. West New York is like 15 minutes from the bridge.
Yo, for a kid who was like 18 years old at the time, who didn't drive.
Papito, you could take the bus.
Long distance. Yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
That's not long distance. Harlem is not long distance, bro.
It's long distance from the perspective that it's not down the block or a 30-minute drive.
Harlem is not long distance.
Hold on, let's Google this, Jay, because
bro,
we're gonna argue about this right now.
My wife works like right next to Harlem. I've driven there. I've taken the bus. I've done her commute. That is not long distance, bro.
Hold on. I'm going to Google what is a long distance relationship.
You got to fly. Straight up.
Okay, so the average amount of distance in a long distance relationship, according to Google, is 125 miles. So I guess you're right.
My man. Come on, son. I didn't need Google to prove my point with that one.
Yeah, but then, by definition, then, if I were to date someone in Maryland and that's a 2.5-hour drive, that would be considered long distance.
That's 100%.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't long distance. Well, for me, it was long distance because I was 18 at the time.
You being 18 and broke is not long distance, my guy.
Yo, listen, it was a bus in Boulevard East to Port Authority, and then from Port Authority, it was either the 1 or 2 train. No, it was the 1 or 2.
1, 2.
And I would get off on 116th, Uptown. 116th.
It's not long distance,
bro. It was long distance for me. I was with her for about 5 years, and in hindsight, the dumbest fucking relationship I was ever in.
You learn from it. You grow.
You do. You learn a lot of things about people when you're not so close.
Yeah, when you're a bus and train right away in a long distance relationship.
Yo, I could already tell I'm gonna get a bunch of shit from people that fucking.
Oh my gosh, that's not one of your brightest moments, JP.
It's not. But you know what? I'm gonna listen. It's 12:03.
It's 12 o'clock already.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock. It's been a long day. So the brain cells right now are not all here. I'm fried, bro. You gotta understand what I do for a living, okay?
Talk about it. What do you do for a living, bro?
Bro, listen, I work in HR, bro.
Oh man,
I work in HR, and this is the thing. This is the thing because you listen to some of my venting sessions when I sit down on the barbershop chair. Dealing with people, as you know, bro, is not easy.
Bro, I've come to a point in my barber career that I want to move to the back of the barbershop.
You still want to talk to people?
Not that I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to deal with like rude, like walk-in customers that like, have these crazy expectations of
They offer you $100 for a beard?
Oh my God, you saw that, right? You witnessed that. My man walks in on a Saturday morning, ask every barber says they're busy. Then as he walks out, walks back in with money in his hand. He's like, I got $100 to be next. And we said no.
Yeah, that's why the Way Barbershop is the best barbershop in Jersey, all right? Because you had 3 barbers who had $100 thrown their way, and they all said no. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Johnny Two Blades. And most importantly, shout out to my boy on this podcast tonight, Jay Barber, because you guys did not even flinch.
Yo, we didn't even think about it. You know, and that's goes to tell you, if you have an appointment at the Way Barbershop, your appointment will be honored.
Because Jay, let's talk about this for a little bit. Because if this were to happen in a barbershop back in West New York,
somebody would have jumped on it right away,
bro.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Not if you're getting a cut, because there was a comment that was made. There was a comment that was made.
I think that was just being like, being extra.
Just
about
joking
the
around. You think they were just okay? Gotcha.
Yeah, but like in a situation, like if I had like 15 minutes to spare, I would have done it. Like after I was done with cutting your hair.
Oh, okay. You weren't gonna kick me out.
I wasn't gonna. I would never. I would never do that.
Would young Jay have kicked me out?
Nah, I would never do that. Just
You're
wait,
a good man.
Just wait. Your $100 ain't that much, bro. Like you gotta wait. You just showed up. It's Saturday. Like, wait.
The weird thing about it was like how he kind of handled it though, because he walked in and then he's like, "Yo, you got any availability?" And you're like, "Nah." And then he leaves, and then he comes back 2 seconds later and goes, $100 for the beard.
And like it's what blows my mind about that situation was that it wasn't a first time customer. Like the guy has been to the barbershop before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been there a couple times.
Oh, he's a familiar face.
Yeah, so like, for you to do something like that, whatever. Just
so you just want to be in the back. You don't want to talk to people anymore.
Like I'm already established, bro. Like I don't want to do like, oh yeah, this person will help you. Like I don't want to do that, man. Like I love my job. I love everything about it. Some people are just like, when you tell people no, they don't know how to handle that.
Rejection.
Like in a public place. Yeah, like they just get so offended. Like,
I don't know why. Because Homeboy was offended. Like he was offended that like people turned down his $100.
Yeah, bro. Like you do that once, you got to do it again.
Yo, but my thing is like how bad like did you really need that like beard shaped up though, my guy? Like I get it if maybe like you're going to a wedding, but then like you're the pendejo for waiting last minute.
Well, there was so many more ways he could have gone about that.
So okay, so for the people out there, what's the Jay Barber recommendation if you need a haircut or a shape up, or if you need your beard, trimmed up? What would be the correct way?
Last minute. There's no correct way of doing last minute.
But would it have been better with the communication? With the communication, if he would have said it in a nicer format.
I mean, I think like if he said like, "Yo, can you squeeze me in after your next, like before your next guy?" Like, that's maybe something more, doable. Mm-hmm. But you're basically like stomping your feet and saying like, "Yo, jump for these $100 because I need a service."
Right.
Like call the barbershop early in the morning. It's fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it made no sense. It made no sense.
I got one more appointment and I'm out. Like, I've been here since 7:30 in the morning, my guy. Like,
yo, it's accountability.
Accountability, bro.
The topic of the night, which we're talking about a couple things here because we're talking about HR, but I feel like if we get into what I do, that's going to be like a 2-hour discussion. So we'll save that. We'll save that for a different day. But let's talk about accountability, Jay, for a little bit because I think that's important.
I think accountability is real simple, bro. If you agree to something, be accountable.
Like agree to be on the show?
Yes. Come with no lame ass excuse that you're on vacation. Why would you say yes to this date if you knew you was gonna be on vacation?
Yeah.
I know what you're doing, JP. Don't get me going.
No. It's working though. It's working. It's working. But yeah, listen, okay, for the people out there, if you're gonna be on something at a specific time, be on that thing at that specific time. If you can't make it, which I get, it's understandable. Things happen, right? Life happens. Let the person know ahead of time, or maybe the day of. Yeah, you know, and or make a better excuse, lie, make it sound believable. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Jay.
I'm not gonna feed too much into it because I don't want to go into it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm 100%. I don't want to go into it.
I see the internal struggle right now where you kind of want to just like let it all out.
Because accountability is such a simple law. Like it's so easy.
Yeah, you know what? I'm talking a lot of shit, bro. But like from an accountability standpoint, like I'm a terrible friend, bro. I'm really bad sometimes.
Yeah, but like you're not wanting to
I
hang
flake
out
a
with
lot,
somebody.
Jay.
Yeah, but you're like, you're like. Respectfully, I say this nicely. You're like you're like an old soul already.
For sure, everybody knows that.
You're a homebody.
Homebody, 1,000% of the way.
Once he takes his sneakers off, he does not putting them back on. Like, like, so that's okay. But to diss or flake at the time of the scheduled event is unprofessional and no accountability. Agreed. Do we forgive, Jay? Should we forgive? We forgive.
Okay.
We forgive.
Okay. I respect it.
We're good people at the end of the day, and everybody has their own life going on and stuff.
For sure. And it's officially, Jay, 12:11 a.m. Yeah. And I have to work tomorrow.
So do I. You
have to work tomorrow. This is probably, to be honest with you, I don't think we're ever going to record at this time ever again.
No, we can't say that because we have a very big guest scheduled for.
Okay, you're right.
And
you're right.
10 p.m. Eastern, and they're on the West Coast, so we're catering to their schedule of availability. So we'll be on here late.
We're making moves, bro.
We're making moves,
and I think eventually, we'll look back at some of this stuff, and for the people that said that they were going to be on the show at a specific time and weren't on there, I think they're going to regret it.
Hey, man. That's the place they make.
That Heinz Ward smile, boy. So we'll end it on that note, Jay.
Absolutely.
We'll end it on that note. Do you have any last comments for the people, Jay?
Just stay tuned, man. We got some good stuff coming in the next couple days.
We're grinding. And shout out to people. You know what? For the record, man, thank you to the people that actually listen to us, y'all.
Thank you, guys. Friends. We really appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the feedback. But don't forget to subscribe, like, review, all that good stuff. We need that.
Oh, one more thing, because I just thought about it now. Another thing my mom does that fucking gets me mad. Commenting on the fucking maybe you should talk post, Ma. You gotta stop.
Let us talk. Nah. At least it's me managing the page. Like I know it's her.
Bro, I know you log in, you see those 7 hearts, and 7 of them are from Cardona. I love you, Mom. I do. But
shout out all moms. We love you all.
Shout out to all Latina moms, yo. And we'll end it with that. So for people listening, thank you again. As always, make sure to rise up. And also, if you took anything from this, is that a long-distance relationship is officially anything over 125 miles.
Yes. Not a fucking bus ride.
So West New York to Harlem does not count for anyone in those type of relationships.
Like, I got to let this go because we're wrapping it up. But, like, how serious you said that was a long-distance relationship? Just, like...
The confidence, right?
The confidence was like at 1,000. My man, that's not long distance.
But here's the thing, though. I think one of the redeeming qualities that I have, though, is that I own it. Accountability.
Accountability, baby.
Accountability, bro.
Let's go.
Accountability. Remember that word, people. All right, people. Take it easy. Peace.
Dope conversations, everyday people, learning life lessons, this is what we live for. Maybe perfect strangers, but we cut up like we kinfolk. We all have stories and all our stories should be told.